You may have received an email from Spire warning that your gas might be shut off this winter if the company is forced to close a major pipeline.
The email is not a fake, but some say it still seems like a bit of a scam. Our Casey Nolan is here to explain what's going on. Casey?
Well, this is the Spire STL Pipeline. At peak demand, the company says about 400,000 St. Louis area homes and businesses rely on it for natural gas. Right now, it is only operating on a temporary permit that expires on December 13th. That is why the company says it had to send out that email telling customers they could lose service if that permit isn't extended. But tonight, the county council had some questions about that.
So this feels a little bit like a manufactured catastrophe.
So is this about putting pressure on FERC?
Spire was called before the county council to answer some questions tonight. First of all, FERC that you heard there, that stands for the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. That's the government agency that signs off on pipelines like this one. FERC, Spire, and the nonprofit Environmental Defense Fund are all tied up in court over whether this pipeline should have ever been approved in the first place. The environmental group questions whether the pipeline was really necessary or if customers are just paying more so Spire can make more money, and they question how it cuts through farmland. But even the environmental group says the pipeline should be allowed to operate through the winter so that no one will lose service, and they say they've even made that case to the regulatory agency.
Reliability of service to St. Louis energy consumers should not be compromised. And the fear-based tactics have to stop. It's extremely damaging, and Spire is causing a lot of harm.
We don't want to alarm people, but we had to be transparent to say that this was a possibility, given that December 13th was only a few weeks away. This is not a message you tell people on December 13th.
This isn't a scare tactic to try to either get public support or any other influence on the ruling long-term with FERC?
This is to be transparent with our customers and make sure they understand this is a situation.
Spire also now says that it is confident FERC will extend the permit to run the STL pipeline and avoid any drastic shutoffs to natural gas in the St. Louis area, but there are no guarantees until a ruling comes down, which could be any day now. Spire says this pipeline is important too, that during that winter storm earlier this year that knocked out natural gas and heat to much of Texas, this pipeline, they say, kept the same thing from happening to more than 100,000 people in St. Louis. As for the county council, they've agreed to look into this more, Mike.
All right, Casey, thanks.